Every morning you wake up, but have you ever asked yourself why? What's pushing you out of that? What's driving your blood? Most people open their eyes and start scrolling, already lost. But men who win, they wake up with a reason, a mission, a fire inside that doesn't allow rest. Because every sunrise is a challenge. Either you dominate the day or the day dominates you. You know what separates the strong from the weak? It's not luck, it's not money, it's not talent, it's purpose. Most people wake up and chase comfort. They want to feel good, not be good. They hit snooze, scroll through their phones, waste the first hour of their lives every single day, and then complain why nothing changes. That's the difference between existing and living with intention. Comfort is poison disguised as peace. It's the slow death of potential. When you have a purpose, you can't stay in bed. You can't rest while your dreams starve. Purpose doesn't let you sleep in. It drags you out of bed because you've got work to do. I remember when I had nothing, no fame, no money, just pressure, uncertainty, and that burning voice inside me saying, "You're built for more." There were days I didn't know how I'd make it. I've been broke, sleeping in cold rooms, working nonstop just to see a glimpse of progress. But that pain, it built me. It gave me the hunger no comfort could ever replace. I didn't have time to complain or feel sorry for myself. I had to move. I had to create. That's what purpose does. It forces you to fight when everyone else folds. You know, people talk about motivation like it's some magical feeling. It's not. It's a decision, a commitment. I didn't wake up every day feeling ready. I woke up tired, stressed, and sometimes broken, but I still got up. Because the mission doesn't care about your mood. Your dreams don't wait until you feel good. You get up, you move, and eventually your discipline creates the emotion. That's purpose, doing what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. You can't chase comfort and expect greatness. You can't sit in warmth and expect to win wars. The bed will whisper lies. It'll tell you you've earned rest, that you deserve it, but you don't deserve comfort until you've earned victory. Purpose demands sacrifice. It demands you trade your comfort for power, your excuses for execution. Every morning you have a choice. Stay comfortable and remain average, or wake up hungry and build the life you keep dreaming about. Comfort won't remember your name, purpose will. Every single morning is a test. The alarm goes off, and that's the first battle of the day. It's not about the noise. It's about what you decide in that moment. You either rise or you stay down. You either move with purpose or stay trapped in comfort. That first decision sets the tone for the entire day, and most people lose right there. They hit snooze, they delay their own progress, and then they wonder why they feel stuck. Every morning is a mirror that shows who you really are, not who you say you want to be, but who you actually are when no one's watching. I've lived that test more times than I can count. When I was broke, when I had nothing, every day started with the same question: do I stay weak or do I push through? There were mornings when the room was cold, when I didn't know where I was heading, when the pressure felt unbearable, but I still got up because I knew no one was coming to save me. No one cared how tired I was, how unfair life felt. I realized early that the world only respects results, not excuses. So I made a choice to win the morning before the world even opened its eyes. You see, that's the truth most people run from. They think success comes from motivation, but it doesn't. It comes from passing those tiny tests every single day. It's waking up when you don't want to. It's grinding when no one's clapping. It's choosing effort when comfort calls. The alarm is life's way of asking, are you still hungry? And the way you answer decides everything. I've trained myself to treat mornings like battlefields. When the alarm hits, I don't negotiate. I stand up. I move. I win before my thoughts even start arguing. That discipline became my armor. It built the foundation of my success, my mindset, my empire. Every day I win that first battle, I remind myself I'm in control, not the world, not emotions, not excuses, me. Because if you can't win the morning, you'll never win the day. Right. And if you keep losing the day, you'll lose your life before you even realize it. Every morning is a test, and only the strong pass. Without vision, you're just moving, waking up, working, existing, but going nowhere. Most people live like that. They're busy but blind. They don't know what they're chasing, so they end up chasing everything and catching nothing. You can't build power without direction. You can't control your destiny if you don't even know what it looks like. Vision is what gives meaning to every hour, every sacrifice, every drop of sweat. It's the picture in your mind that keeps you moving when nothing around you makes sense. I didn't start with wealth or privilege. I started with clarity. I saw a life that didn't exist yet, but I believed in it. So hard that I treated it like it was already real. I saw myself winning before I actually did. I remember sitting in empty rooms, broke, no fame, no plan, but I had a picture in my head of who I was going to become. Every rejection, every failure, every night I couldn't sleep. It didn't break me because I knew what I was working toward. When your vision is strong enough, your circumstances stop controlling you. You stop asking, how long will it take? And start saying, I'll keep going until it's done. There were people who laughed, who said I was dreaming too big, who thought I'd fade out. But that's what happens when people can't see what you see. They'll try to convince you to shrink because they've already given up on themselves. I didn't listen. I kept my eyes locked on my future like it was oxygen. Because once you lose vision, you suffocate. You've got to see your future so clearly that it burns inside you. You need that fire that makes sleep feel like a distraction. Vision gives power to your grind. It gives pain a reason. Without it, life feels pointless. And that's why most people quit. They don't lack talent. They lack clarity. I built my life on one rule. If you can see it in your mind and you're willing to suffer for it, you can make it real. Every empire begins as a vision no one else believes in. You don't need approval. You need focus. Because when vision becomes obsession, success becomes inevitable. Pain is the price of progress. Everyone wants success, but nobody wants to suffer for it. That's why most people never make it. They avoid pain like it's punishment, but pain is the only teacher that tells you the truth. When you go through struggle, when you face pressure, that's when you find out who you really are. Pain strips away weakness, comfort, and ego. It forces you to evolve. You can't grow without it. Every time life hurts, it's giving you a choice, break or build. I've been through it. I felt the pressure of losing, of being broke, of having the world doubt me. I've had moments where everything around me was falling apart, and the only thing I had left was belief. I've trained in pain, worked through pain, lived through pain. There were times I was exhausted, mentally and physically done, but I didn't stop. I knew that if I quit, I'd stay stuck where I was forever. That fear of being average, of living a meaningless life, hurt more than anything else. So I embraced the pain. I made it my fuel. I realized pain was never the enemy. It was proof that I was moving forward. The truth is that people who run from pain never get anywhere. They want the reward without the risk. They want the glory without the grind, but life doesn't work like that. Every time you dodge discomfort, you delay your destiny. Pain builds the mindset required to win. It sharpens focus, strengthens will, and teaches discipline. That's why the best don't hide from it. They go looking for it because they know pain means progress. I've seen both sides of life, the comfortable and the cruel, and I can tell you this, the pain you feel today becomes the strength you'll live with tomorrow. Every scar I've earned, every loss I've taken, every night I couldn't sleep, it all added up to the man I became, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. The truth is simple. You can't reach power without pain. You can't reach greatness without sacrifice. Every step you take through struggle brings you closer to the version of yourself you were born to become. Pain isn't punishment. It's the price of transformation. Focus is the weapon that separates the average from the elite. Everyone wants to win, but most people can't sit still long enough to build anything real. Their minds are scattered. One minute they want success, the next they want comfort. They're chasing 10 things at once and wondering why they never catch one. Focus is power. It's the ability to lock on to a target so completely that nothing else exists until you've conquered it. When you master focus, you control your world. I learned this the hard way. When I was younger, I thought hard work was enough. I'd do 1,000 things at once, thinking more meant progress. But that's not how greatness works. You can't split your energy and expect full results. I had to train my mind to lock in, to cut out everything that didn't matter. Distractions, noise, people, habits. I lost friends, I lost sleep, but I gained control. I gained clarity. I realized the world is built to distract you. Social media, gossip, comfort, entertainment. It's all designed to steal your focus, to keep you weak, to make you forget what you said you wanted. The system wants you distracted because a distracted man is easy to control. A focused man is dangerous. When I was broke and trying to build my life, there were moments when focus was the only thing I had. No money, no support, no backup plan, but I had direction. I'd sit alone, training, working, thinking about every move. While others were wasting hours chasing pleasure, I was chasing power. I learned to silence the noise in my head and listen only to the mission. That focus turned into results. Results turned into momentum. Momentum turned into freedom. You don't need to be the smartest or the strongest. You just need to be the most focused. Because once you decide that nothing will distract you, the world bends to your will. Focus is the quiet killer. It doesn't make noise, but it builds empires. Every second you give to distraction is a second stolen from your destiny. Protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Once you master it, no one can stop you. Legacy is what remains when everything else fades. Most people are obsessed with lifestyle, cars, watches, followers, validation, but all of that disappears the moment you stop producing value. Legacy is different. Legacy is about building something that outlives you, something that echoes your name long after you're gone. Lifestyle is temporary pleasure. Legacy is permanent respect. You can't fake it. You can't buy it. You have to earn it through discipline, sacrifice, and relentless purpose. When I was young and broke, I thought success was about luxury. I wanted the fast cars, the nice places, the comfort. But when I finally got them, I realized something. They don't mean anything if your name carries no weight. I've seen men with money but no power, wealth but no respect. That's when I understood the goal was never lifestyle, it was legacy. I didn't want to be rich for a year, I wanted to be remembered forever. I wanted to create something that couldn't be erased when the lights went out or the crowd stopped clapping. Legacy is built in silence, in the hours no one sees. It's built through how you move, how you handle pressure, how you treat your mission when no one's watching. I've lost people chasing this path. Some didn't understand why I worked so hard, why I never stopped. But legacy doesn't need understanding. It demands obsession. It's waking up every day knowing that what you build today decides how you'll be remembered tomorrow. There were times when I was isolated, when I felt like I was fighting alone, no applause, no recognition, just grind. But those were the moments that shaped me. Every struggle, every setback, every sacrifice, it all became part of my story. That's what legacy is. It's not perfection, it's persistence. It's staying solid when others would have quit. Lifestyle fades, the parties end, the noise dies, but the name you build through discipline and vision will never disappear. That's what matters. That's what makes life meaningful. Every morning when you wake up, remember, you're not here to consume, you're here to create. You're not here to be remembered for what you had, but for what you built. Because when you're gone, your legacy will speak louder than your words ever could. You've got one life, one chance. Every morning is your battlefield. Don't wake up to exist. Wake up to conquer. Wake up to fight, to build, to dominate. The world doesn't owe you anything, but it will give you everything if you're willing to take it. So tomorrow when that alarm hits, don't hit snooze. Stand up, look in the mirror, and ask yourself, what are you waking up for?